Last year, I had the amazing opportunity to attend the After Hours Till Dawn tour by the weekend. Walking into that stadium that night was honestly an overwhelming and an amazing feeling in the best way possible. Thousands of people were entering through the gates, and music was already playing in the background, with everyone around me buzzing with excitement, waiting for the show to begin. I remember looking around and seeing people everywhere, groups of friends taking their pictures, finding their seats, and fans already singing to the songs through the speakers before the concert even started. It felt like the entire stadium was building towards one huge moment. Then suddenly, the lights went out. And for a moment, just for a moment, the stadium was completely dark. And then the stage lit up and the music started and the crowd completely exploded. Everyone around me was singing, cheering, and recording their videos and reacting to their performances in their own way. And for the next few hours, the entire stadium felt connected through music and energy of the show. At that moment, like most fans, I was focused on entirely the performance and the excitement of the crowd. What I wasn't thinking about was everything happening behind the scenes. I wasn't thinking about the ticket pricing. I definitely wasn't thinking about staffing. I definitely also wasn't thinking about how tens and thousands amounts of people are able to enter the stadium and exit safely. At the same time, it felt like the incredible concert experience. But months later, when I started exploring the sports and entertainment virtual business simulation, that entire experience began to look very different. Because I realized what felt like a simple night of entertainment was actually the result of hundreds of business decisions working together. Before I go further, let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Sahasra, and I'm a senior at Memorial High School, an active DECA competitor of 2 years. I've competed in the MDA Challenge, Business Startup Plan, and the Innovation Plan. Outside of school, I'm involved in numerous amount of things. I've been playing chess since I was in third grade. I'm the founder and president of the chess club at my school and a 4-year varsity choir member, and I'm also very passionate about science as well. Throughout DECA and Knowledge Matters, I've had the opportunity to explore different industries through competitions and simulations that mirror real-world business environments. One of the areas that has always fascinated me was large entertainment industries, especially the business side of large events, because concerts and sporting events may feel effortless to the audience, but they actually require a tremendous amount of planning and strategic decision making behind the scenes. When I first began exploring the simulation offered by Knowledge Matters, several immediately caught my attention. There was running a hotel, fashion store, and even restaurant simulation as well. But the sports and the entertainment simulation stood out to me the right way. After attending that concert last year, I was curious about what actually goes into managing a large entertainment event. The simulation allowed me to step into the role as an event manager responsible for planning and operating the event from a management perspective. What impressed me was how realistic the simulation felt. Instead of simplifying decision, the platform required balancing multiple factors that real event managers must consider. Very quickly, I noticed that every decision in the simulation was all connected. Ticket prices influenced attendance, attendance influenced staffing needs, and staffing influenced operation costs and fan experience. Every adjustment created a ripple effect throughout the event. As I continued working through the simulation, I started thinking back to how the concert I had attended the year before. I began remembering small details from that night I never really paid attention to before. The security checkpoints at the entrance, the concession stands placed throughout the stadium, the merchandise booths with along the lines of the fans waiting to buy their tour shirts. All those things seemed to so little at that time. But I began realizing that each of them required planning and coordination behind the scenes. One of the first major strategies I had to consider was ticket pricing. Initially, I assumed that if the event was popular, increasing ticket prices would automatically increase the revenue. However, after experiencing with different pricing strategies, I noticed that higher prices in certain sections actually reduced attendance. Fewer people attending meant fewer concessions purchased and merchandise sales. So instead of simply maximizing the price, I focused on balancing ticket affordability with attendance levels. Adjusting ticket prices for certain sections helped increase attendance and ultimately improved overall revenue. Another important decision involved staffing. Large entertainment venues require employees to manage concessions, merchandise sales, security, and guest services. If too few employees are working, long lines can develop and negatively impact the fan experience. But if too many employees are scheduled, operational costs increase. This simulation required careful balancing staffing levels to maintain both efficiency and profitability. Also, it helped me understand something important. Staffing decisions don't affect cost, they directly affect the fan experience. When lines move quickly and fans can easily access food, merchandise, or help from the staff, the event feels more enjoyable. And I learned about a new concept, ingress and egress, and this was something that is new to me. Ingress refers to how fans enter the venue, egress refers to how fans exit the end venue once it ends. Thinking back to the concert, I remember how smoothly the crowd had entered the stadium that night. Thousands of people were moving through the security checkpoints and entrance gates all at the same time. Yet, everything felt organized and controlled. At that time, I didn't think much of it, but after learning about ingress and egress in the simulation, I realized how much planning must have gone into designing those entry and exit systems. For events with tens and thousands of attendees, even small inefficiencies can create massive delays. And that's why careful planning of crowd flow is such an important part of event management. Next, marketing also played an important role in the simulation. Different promotional campaigns helped attract audience and most likely to attend the event. By analyzing which strategies were most effective, I was able to improve attendance and increase ticket demand. Experiences like this highlight how simulations from Knowledge Matters allow students to experiment with strategies and immediately see how those decisions influence business outcomes. As I continued working through the simulation, I started thinking back to that concert again. When I was sitting in that stadium, I was focused entirely on the music and the performances. But after experiencing the simulation, I realized that every part of that event had been carefully planned. The ticket prices that determined who could attend, the staffing decisions that kept everything running so smoothly, the marketing campaigns that filled the stadium, and the ingress and the egress planning that allowed thousands of fans to enter and exit safely. What once felt like a simple concert experience was actually carefully managed business operation. My biggest lesson I took away from this experience is that the entertainment events are much more than just performances. They are the result of strategic planning, operational management, and data-driven decision making. Fans remember the music, the atmosphere, and the excitement of the news. But behind every successful event is a team of professionals working to make the experience possible. And the sports and entertainment simulation from Knowledge Matters provided the opportunity to explore those decisions in a realistic and interactive way. This experience didn't just teach me business concepts. It completely changed how I view the events I attend and the industries that create them. Programs like these allow students to test ideas, make decisions, and learn from the results in ways that traditional learning often cannot replicate. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration. I would be happy to answer any questions.